Hey, soldiers, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, the brainchild of the two grizzled hippies, the two Woodstock rejects up there in Vermont. Well, these two shot their mouth off. Ben & Jerry's, the company, shot its mouth off and now has to pay the piper. They are taking Get Woke, Go Broke to a whole nother level. Now, Ben & Jerry's is owned by Unilever. We're going to examine whether or not a Ben & Jerry's boycott will actually affect Unilever. But in the meantime, let's also take a look at what they said, and we are going to call Unilever and see if we can't get a statement from them, the parent company, on how they're going to be moving forward. Members of an indigenous tribe who are descendants of Native Americans have reportedly expressed interest in taking back the land now occupied by popular ice cream makers Ben & Jerry's after the company made a controversial call for America to return stolen land. So here's what we have. Ben & Jerry's ice cream came out on the 4th of July. They made this statement talking about how, we'll get to the exact statement in a moment, but they made a statement that pretty much said that stolen lands should be given back to the original owners. But all across the world, remember, we are humans, all right? And we are a species that kind of is built on conquest. And I don't care what your ethnicity is. There's this, notion, trying to build this notion that, certain ethnicities, they're just so kind and peaceful. And the evil white man came and took all that they had. Well, you take a look at feudal Japan. You take a look at Shaka Zulu's South Africa. You take a look at indigenous America, all right, and the warring factions that existed before any European ever set foot here, all right? So we're humans. We tend to want to look for resources, and then sadly, we're conquerors, for better or for worse, right? So if you've got an issue with this, like Ben & Jerry, where you're saying, hey, these lands were stolen, then what you can do, this is just like reparations, all right? This is just like paying tax. When Warren Buffett comes out and says, I think rich people should pay more taxes. Nothing stopping you, Warren. Write a bigger check, buddy, all right? For those who think the reparations are appropriate, the white hippie liberals who think this is what we should do, write a check. Find a black person, write a check. Simple as that. Sign over some property. Okay, you don't need to wait for the government. Same is true with this issue. If you believe that land is stolen, do you own a home? Do you own some land? Sign it over. Okay, in whole or in part. Do your part. If you think that, then stand behind that. You do not need the government to move. You can do it first. So, Chief of the Nulhagen Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, Don Stevens, tells Newsweek that his tribe is, quote, always interested in reclaiming the stewardship of our lands, unquote. But the ice cream company has yet to contact them regarding land its headquarters now sits on.
The United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. Our next guest says Ben & Jerry's should be the first to give up their headquarters on his tribe's land. Chief of the Nulhagen Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, Don Stevens, joins us now. Chief Stevens, thank you very much for being here. So first off, just to get the facts straight, you can confirm that your tribe previously had been in control of the land where Ben & Jerry's has its headquarters today.
Yes, Vermont is part of the Western Abenaki territories, and there are 4 state-recognized tribes located in Vermont right now. So it is the home of all 4 of our nations.
Have they made any statements in the past? Have you had any communication with them that they acknowledge this and, based on their public stance, think they should do something about it?
I have not been in direct communication with Ben & Jerry's, but I'm always open to any sort of correspondence or communication to figure out the purpose behind the tweet and how we could work together to uplift our community.
So do you think Ben & Jerry's is just interested in talking about other lands like Mount Rushmore and disputed places and not about their own backyard? I mean, what does it say to you about their stance that they're willing to, they want everyone else to give it up, but don't look in our backyard.
Well, I can't read their mind, Pete. So I think the best way is for Ben & Jerry's to reach out, contact us as the state-recognized Abenaki tribes in our homeland and where their factories and headquarters sit, and have a conversation. And if they're willing to work with us and help uplift our people, then I'm there for the conversation. But we haven't had any contact yet.
So here's the tweet. Here's what Ben & Jerry said. This 4th of July, it's high time we recognize that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Learn more and take action now at Ben & Jerry's, and they give you some little website. Then they have a photograph, as you can see here. The United States was founded on stolen indigenous land this 4th of July. Let's commit to returning it. And then somebody is holding up a sign, and ethnically ambiguous hand, animated hand is holding up a sign saying, "This is stolen land." You need to hang that sign on the roof of the Ben & Jerry's building in Vermont, because the tribe is saying that, hey, yeah, you exist. Your building exists. Your company's headquarters exist on stolen land. So now, will this hurt Unilever? We're going to get to that in a second. The company expressed interest comes after, the tribe's expressed interest comes after Ben & Jerry's controversial tweet on the 4th of July holiday that we just read. The ice cream company added in that tweet a link to a website where it further detailed its call to action, okay? Saying America should start by returning Mount Rushmore. No, we should start with returning the Ben & Jerry's headquarters. Don't you think? In fact, let's do this. Let's reach out to Ben & Jerry's and see if they offer any, insight as to what they're going to do.
Thank you for calling Unilever. Para servicio en español presione dos. We look forward to chatting with you. Your call will be recorded and may be monitored for quality purposes. For more information on our privacy policy, visit www.unilevernotices.com or speak to a team member. We value your feedback as we continue to improve the experience for all our customers. If you are willing to take a 2-question survey at the end of this call, press 1. Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line and your call will be answered by the next available agent.
Thank you for calling Unilever. How may I assist you today?
Yes, good evening. My name is Tyrone Keys, and I'm with the Soldiers of Finance channel. I was wondering who I could speak to get a statement about the Ben & Jerry's issue. And I believe I'm speaking to you on a recorded line on your end. I need to let you know that it is on our end as well. It's the law in the state of Maryland, we have to tell you.
Okay, thank you. If I'm understanding you correctly, you would like to speak with someone in regards to Ben & Jerry's?
Yeah, they made a statement over the weekend about indigenous lands, and the tribes have asked them if they're serious about it to give up their headquarters because it's on indigenous land. So I want to see if the company has a statement about that.
I'd be happy to look into this for you.
Sure, thank you.
May I ask where you're calling from?
Yes, you want the organization or the state?
Whichever you prefer to offer.
Oh, I'm calling from the state of Maryland. Again, this is Tyrone Keys with the Soldiers of Finance channel.
Soldiers of Finance.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have anyone available at the moment to provide any information.
All right.
But if you'd like to offer any feedback, I'd be happy to take that for you.
Sure. I would just looking for a statement to see if indeed Ben & Jerry's is going to stand by their statement. They said that indigenous land should be given back. Their headquarters is on indigenous land, so like to know when they will be giving it back. And can I leave some contact information?
Absolutely. 1 second here.
As I suspected, nothing was forthcoming. I even used the fact that this is the Soldiers of Finance channel calling, and we couldn't get any further right now. And I think that's because Ben and Jerry's is probably like, what the hell did we just do? All right. The stock of the company Unilever has dipped down over the 5-day. However, here's the deal. Unilever had revenues of $640 billion in 2022. Ben & Jerry's $450 million. So that's less than 1%. Ben & Jerry's accounts for less than 1% of those revenues. So I don't think that's going to hurt them too bad. Now, Unilever produces a lot of products. It's true. Ben & Jerry's has been a fringe left, overpriced ice cream, novelty ice cream maker for a while now. They're just like the rest of these socialists in America. They are wealthy. All right, Ocasio-Cortez, wealthy woman. She just got wealthy overnight. She just ended up in the Congress and somehow just started making a lot of money. And is now she went from a bartender to a multimillionaire. You know, we got Bernie Sanders, another multimillionaire. He used to talk about the evil millionaires and billionaires. He stopped talking about millionaires when he became one. Talks about how we need to do something about the homeless problem, which we do. Bernie, you've got 3 houses, man. Put your money where your mouth is. They never want to do that. So I highly doubt if they're going to pack their trash and move out of the headquarters building and give it to the tribe. Ben & Jerry's, you need to call the head of the tribe. And again, you need to make arrangements. Let this be another lesson to woke companies. They had absolutely no intention of actually leading by example. They just wanted to rabble rouse. They just wanted to virtue signal. They just wanted to make themselves look like the white knight, the white liberal knight coming to the rescue of all of the brown people around the world. Now, what you should do is go forward, bite the bullet, swallow hard, and give up the deed to the headquarters building. It's actually the least you can do. And I'm not talking sell it. I'm saying just give it over to them, equity and everything. Because if it had remained in their hands, right, Ben & Jerry's, this is what you're alluding to, right, then they would have had that equity anyway. So you're going to have to take the L, Ben & Jerry's, or you're going to have ice cream on your face because you'll be exposed for the leftist, socialist hypocrites you are. This is the same thing we've seen with socialism and communism forever. The preachers of the philosophy, they live high on the hog. While again, the proletariat, all right, they've got to, we got to give up Mount Rushmore. I'm sure, look, we got JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, saying you got to give up your property for the sake of climate change. You think he's giving up any of his properties? Listen, guys, we got to reject these people that are positioning themselves to think of themselves as our betters. They're not. And we need to call them out whenever they do dumb stuff like this. We need to press. Call Ben & Jerry's. Call them up. Give me a sec. I'll give you their phone number. Call them up and demand that they go ahead and give up the daggone headquarters. Okay, the number I was given is 800-625-9932. Call Ben & Jerry's. I was given that number by Unilever. Call Ben & Jerry's and tell them to put their money where their mouth is. All right, I want you to check out this video because we've got 2 presidential candidates who are speaking truth to power about a very important economic issue. And state media, government-controlled media, right here in the United States of America, is trying to silence them. There is a narrative that, again, large corporations like Ben & Jerry's, Unilever, governments, state, local, and federal, and non-governmental organizations like the Fed, World Economic Forum, they're trying to write this narrative. Part of the narrative is that we're going to control every aspect of your life through your economics. Watch this video, find out more. Guys, hit the thumbs up as you leave, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you soon.